There is a lot going on at Chelsea right now. On the pitch, we're talking about dropped points, discipline problems, dressing room tensions, and off the pitch, we have PSR investigations, UEFA breaches, 622 million euros losses, potential 91 million pounds fines, and sponsorship uncertainties, and now Champions League draw anxiety with either PSG or Newcastle is also on the side. So today we are not shouting, we're not even going to panic. We are breaking this down properly, the positives and the negative, because right now Chelsea is a club that looks stable on paper but unstable in perspection. So let's just go right into it. Where do I begin? Let's start. Let's start with the PSR versus the UEFA issue, and because this is where it gets scary. According to Kieran Maguire, he said it best. Chelsea are a hedge fund with a football club bolted on, and we got clarity on PSL for 2024/2025, and the Premier League says that we were safe because the owners used loopholes, selling hotels and women's team to themselves. But this is the negative part because we can't ignore it. UEFA doesn't recognize those loopholes. And Adam William and other experts have confirmed that we're falling foul of UEFA's financial controls, and our cumulative 3-year loss under UEFA rules is a staggering 622 million euros, which is approximately 528 million pounds. And that's wow. Wow. 528 million pounds. That's like half a billion. Whereas the limit or the threshold is 60 million euros. So we are hundreds of millions over the line, and we are looking at potential 91 million euros fine and pressure to sell our inventory just to stay in European competition. We have on paper we have the most expensive squad ever assembled at 1.6 1.7 400 and 1,746,000,000 euros, which is more than what Manchester City have. Yet we are facing financial recalibration that could see superstars sold this summer. And when we talk about the amount that have been spent on this current squad that Chelsea have, and yet we play the way we've played, or we perform in the manner that we're performing, you just cannot help but be shocked and amazed at. And then you ask yourself, what exactly did Chelsea spend all this money on? What exactly? Because Arsenal, teams like Arsenal and Manchester City have not spent as much as we have spent, yet they have the better crop of players. They have players that are pushing the team to challenge for honors. And that's why Arsenal and Manchester City are having it out till the end of this season. And it's just shocking. It's really, really shocking. And then you have to that perspective, the we have the most expensive ever assembled team right now looks to be Chelsea. Okay, for comparisons, like I said, you're talking about Manchester City and we're talking about Arsenal. And then when you ask why is there pressure, this is why. If you build the most expensive squad in football history, you remove excuses. Okay, you cannot afford to have discipline issues, set piece fragility, game management problems, and repeated red cards that are unnecessary. And when you put all this together, you cannot, you, like I said, you just have to ask questions, like serious questions. And this is where it leads me to the the dressing room spout, because man, it's really shocking. I really do not understand, or I do not understand or recognize Chelsea anymore. Now, we talk about the dressing room explosion because Liam Rosenior has lost it. Okay, the mask of calmness is finally off, and according to Kieran Gills, Liam Rosenior has finally shown his angry side, and after those back-to-back home slip-ups against Leeds and Burnley, he reportedly exploded in the dressing room and is challenging the players on intensity and accountability. And this is where I agree with him. He's right on this one. Bobby Vincent highlighted a specific moment against Burnley where a marking assignment was missed, and Liam Rosenior actually stated that even in the press conference that an assignment was given to one of the players missed the assignment and failed to mark uh, is it Zien or Zlen Flemming, and because as a result of that, Chelsea ended up drawing the game at home against Burnley. Okay, and Fleming is the biggest threat aerially, and it was unmarked. Okay, so we dropped 2 points, and it's like I said, it's football 101, which we are feeling. And then Matlow noted on London is Blue podcast that nobody at the club seems to want to take accountability for discipline problems. They think it's not that bad, and it's very terrible. We are one red card away from matching the worst record in a decade, and Rosenior is trying to kick them into gear. And when you have a squad this young, who is the leader holding them to account when the manager isn't looking? And this is a problem. I cannot stop emphasizing or stressing the fact that we have badly assembled this team because this team lacks leadership. Before now, we had players like Thiago Silva, who was the voice, and players and someone the rest of the team would look up to on the field. And this is not me saying that we have to buy someone 40 years old. We have to buy. It doesn't necessarily have to be 30 years. We have to buy someone. We need someone who's a seasoned player who has done this year in, year out, and can pass on assignment. I mean, experience, can pass on this kind of information to players on the field when they are up against certain situations. And that's why even at 40 years of age, when Thiago Silva left Chelsea, opponents said Thiago Silva was the worst player that they ever came up because it was very difficult to go past him. He might have slowed down in age, but he has been through all this many times over, right from the days of AC Milan down to PSG, down to Flamengo and all that. He has done it time and time over again. So before you make a move, he's already waiting for you there. And Desassi, according to Carlton Cole, said Chelsea had Thiago Silva, who they looked up to on the pitch. And the moment Thiago Silva left, they were all left to look at each other, lean on each other. But the question is, how much experience do they boast of for them to be looking up to each other and hoping that the best they would? And that's why we have problems of players switching off at 18 minutes, 10 minutes to the end of the of football or of a game. And then we're seeing fragility and uh, and switching off complacency left, right, and centers. Now, despite the crisis, Bloco is defiant. Okay, they're sticking to their youth-only strategy, and when you look at this, our average age is 24 years. Okay, but as we saw with Rhys James, who we can't rely on consistently due to his injury record. Experience, like I said, is vacuum. And Matt Law has gone ballistic. He's rightfully cynical about our sponsorship. We are holding out for 65 million pounds for a front of shirt sponsor, but the market is starting to shrink because with betting sponsors being banned soon, everyone is fighting for the same non-betting companies, and we are stuck in a revolving cycle of sticking plasters deals because we are asking for too much money while our discipline on the pitch is in the gutter, and it's a bad look for potential partners. And now, it was reported according to Q&Q that we've been told that there is no requirement for Chelsea to start selling key players such as Cole Palmer or Moises Caicedo in order to meet regulatory threshold, and that there is no financial pressure on Chelsea to offload any key member of the squad. They do not wish to lose any key member of the squad. They do not wish to lose this summer, and so the approach to the player trading will be strategic rather than reactive. I just think this is just BS because we all know we've seen what happened with Barcelona. Okay, the amount of money that is being mentioned here is similar to the situation that Barcelona faced, and he had to do so much for them to get to where they are now, and they've only just started 2 seasons ago climbing back and trying to recover from fines and restrictions and all that they had to go through. So I believe I remember if I stand corrected on this. Let me know, you guys. Let me know if I'm correct in the comment section below. They had to sell players to raise money. Okay, at the same time they had to get a lot of players to drop salary. I mean, reduce the salary. So I don't think salary can be talked about with these guys because they're not even earning much in the first place. So it's a tough deal, and this what Kieran Gill has just put out here. It doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, we are from my own standpoint at POV, we are under pressure. Otherwise, we could end up getting expelled from Champions League or European football. Now to wrap up, the Champions League last 16 draw is finally set, and we are about to have one one hell of a knockout fixture. And before I get to Chelsea, I want to read out the rest because Galatasaray will be welcoming Liverpool to their home ground. Real Madrid will be taking on Manchester City. Atlanta will be welcoming Bayern Munich. Newcastle will be welcoming Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid versus Tottenham. Bodo Glimt versus Sporting Lisbon. Bayern Leverkusen versus Arsenal. And finally, it's PSG versus Chelsea. And I really do not. I'm excited about this. At the same time, I'm worried because, like I said, PSG, when they are in form and they have everything going, they are unstoppable. And we've seen how PSG dismantled teams last season in Champions League. Okay, and even though we found ways to thrash them in the Club World Cup, this one, I just hope that Chelsea will be ready for them. The best part is that Chelsea will be going away first, and then in the second leg, Chelsea will be welcoming them to the bridge. I hope that the home advantage will play into Chelsea's favor. Let me know what you guys think about everything I've said in the comment section here below. What do you think about Liam Rosenior's reaction or explosion with the players? And let me know what you guys think about the PSR versus UEFA restriction. And do you think that Chelsea do not necessarily need to sell any member of the key players to generate money and all that, and that they are not under pressure? And what's your feeling towards this Champions League matchup, PSG versus Chelsea? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't forget to like this video and most importantly, share. Turn on your notification bell because I'll be here to give you guys my match preview for the game as Chelsea travel to the Emirates on Sunday to take on Arsenal, and hopefully Chelsea will be able to do something and blow the the Premier League open in favor of Manchester City. Yes, I want Manchester City to win the league. I don't know what Arsenal winning the league. Otherwise, London becomes red. The color changes, and I don't want that. We, the Chelsea fans, and the rest of fans that are not Arsenal fans, we will not hear the last of it. I do not want to see that. Not now, or not ever. The funny thing is that if Arsenal do not end up winning this league in league like this one this season, I don't think they will be able to get as close as they have ever been this season in another 10, 20 years. Let me know what you guys think about everything. So turn on your notification bell so that you're notified as soon as I put out a video. Until then, it's Chelsea first. So I'll see you next. Peace.